What is going on YouTube? My name is Robert. I'm a rental arbitrage Airbnb host from the Midwest, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing 7 things that you can do to become a better host. So what do I mean by being a better host? You don't want to be just good, you want to be great. If you guys are looking for that information, then be sure to stay tuned for this video. I'll be sharing some very valuable insights. It has officially been 1 year since I signed my rental arbitrage lease back in August 2018. And I want to say that what I've learned in the meantime and like the learning experience that I've gotten and the performance that I've seen in the business has been outstanding. So I'm just sharing this message and passing it on to you guys. For those of you guys thinking of starting your own Airbnb business or starting your own Airbnb listing or co-hosting, whatever it may be, anything to do with home sharing and short-term rentals, then this video is definitely for you. As I learn more strategies and as I learn more tips and tricks, being able to implement them in my business, I've only seen an increase in revenue. So for those of you guys out there who are wondering if it's too late to start, if it's too saturated, if you have a chance competing with the 3,000 listings in your city, then watch this video all the way through. You'll find it very helpful. And as I said before, my performance has only gotten better over time. June and July have been my best months. So my last 2 months in my 1-year lease that I signed have been my best months as a rental arbitrage host. The reason I'm saying this is that the longer you wait at starting this opportunity, the harder it's gonna get for you. And that's just how it is. The easy money has already been made and it's just slowly merging into this thing where it's going to be harder and harder, it's going to be more competitive, and you're going to have to be really on top of your listing and on top of your hosting game in order to succeed. So guys, this video is definitely going to help you out. Maybe you're just getting started or maybe you want to improve your skills as an Airbnb host. Implementing the tips in this video will definitely help you out. Just a little side note for those of you guys who are members of my course and for those of you guys who are maybe curious on purchasing a course related to Airbnb and learning some of the information that goes along with starting this business model. August 9th, I will be giving you guys full access to updated detailed scripts on how to present yourself to a landlord or an apartment complex. And I'm giving you a downloadable lease agreement to where you can revise it and enter your information depending on your location and your address, whatever it may be. And it has an Airbnb clause in there for those of you guys who want something to look at and maybe just to give you an idea of what you should be expecting when approaching and signing a lease from a landlord or from an apartment complex. I will be giving you guys the option to buy those 2 individually. So 2 other things I'm going to be adding. I'm going to be adding an option for a one-on-one mentorship, literally me walking you through the process, getting your first listing, meeting the landlord, etc., finding the property. All that stuff will be included in that one-on-one mentorship, which I'm going to be offering for a discounted price after August 9th. Along with 3 free consulting calls for whoever purchases the course, just the course alone, without the one-on-one mentorship. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and enroll now. It's linked down below. It's completely free to enroll. You don't have to buy anything. I'll just give you guys a little update notice whenever that stuff comes out. Without further ado, let's get into how you can not just be a good host, but a great host. And the first thing that you can do to start that is to be honest with your guests. This is what I've learned in my 1 year of hosting. Being straight up and honest with your guests and not trying to hide anything is always going to help you out in the long run. It's going to help out your customer experience. If your property is in a certain condition, don't try to cover that up and making it seem like it's better than what it actually is. The customer will always be satisfied if they get more than what they paid for. So therefore, if you're charging a really high price and your property is not really valued at what you're asking, your guest is obviously going to experience that. They're going to feel it and they're not going to be satisfied and they might not leave you a positive review. So keep that in mind. You guys always want to be honest with your guests. You guys always want to be upfront with them. Don't try to hide anything. Don't try to be shady. You want to be building your business for the long term. You want to be building it, and those reviews are going to be building it from the ground up. So make sure that you're always transparent. You never try to hide anything. And guys, I can't stress this enough. This is probably the most important thing that I've learned. And I gotta say that after I started implementing that in my own business, the people have been a lot more satisfied. They've been leaving me positive 5-star reviews back to back to back. And guys, that's just it. Like, for example, if you have an old dinky apartment, don't advertise it for something that it's not. That's kind of the main point I'm trying to share and trying to get across to you guys. Always be transparent, always be honest. The second thing that will make you a great host is familiarizing yourself with local laws and the local regulations. This year, I went through an extensive regulation process for my listing, and I learned a lot from the experience. It is a very arduous process. It took me a long time to get everything figured out, partially because I had to leave the country for a month in the midst of it all. But I got it figured out. I got my place licensed. Always be sure to look at local laws, local regulations, tax laws. Make sure you're doing business right. This will make you a great host and you'll not be slapped with a fat fine from the city. which I've heard many instances of this happening. So that does not have to be you. Always make sure you're doing everything right, you're doing it legal, and that way you will be considered a great host. The third thing you can do is you can adopt a business mindset. This is necessary when looking at your business, looking at the numbers. You can't scale a business based off of hope, based off of your dreams and whatever's going on in your head. Your business will only be sustainable long term if you grow it and you operate it based off of numbers. Look at what you're bringing in, look at your revenue, look at your expenses, analyze everything and understand that you're going to be on top of that for this year and for the rest of your time as a host. You got to be on top of that. You have to have that business mindset. You can't just shrug off certain aspects of, like you have these expenses here that you're kind of just swiping your card or not really looking at, or you're neglecting them. It'll help you with taxes. It'll help you when it comes time to scale. This is definitely something that you need to adopt. You don't just want to have it as like your side gig, and you don't give it that focus and that attention it needs to thrive. The fourth thing that will make you a great host is to have a positive mindset and always be optimistic about your guests. You don't want to be that person who stalks your inquiries on Facebook and you find something that you may not like about them and you decline them, or for whatever reason. I've heard cases where people are actually just super paranoid about who they let into their properties. That's not going to help you grow your business. That's not going to help you at all. If you're scared about all that stuff, if you're worried about that, don't even be an Airbnb host. Don't even worry about starting this business. Always understand that your guests will be great. This has been my overall experience. All my guests that have come through have been really respectful. They've even cleaned the place for me. So they're paying me a cleaning fee, yet they still do the dishes, they sweep, they leave the place looking really clean. And I can't, appreciate that enough. That is something that I'm very grateful for. And that's something that you guys should all expect with your guests. They're all going to be great. Don't be that person that's paranoid about people doing this or that. Overall, have a positive outlook on it and know that whoever's coming to your property, they have a reason for traveling and they're going to be great. They're going to keep your place in great shape. In my 1 year, the only bad experience I had was that horror story video, which I'll leave it up here in this tag. You guys can go check that out. Out of the hundreds of people that I've hosted, that was the one instance where things did not go my way and I was upset. So guys, be sure to always have that positive outlook and be optimistic with it. Overall, optimism and positivity is going to attract more of that in your life. You guys should be focusing on that a lot more. The fifth tip that will make you a great host is sticking up for yourself when you have to. This is something that needs to be said. Don't let people walk all over you, and don't be intimidated by people coming to use your property for the night or for a few nights. Overall, it's your place and you need to be sure to set your rules very strictly. Make sure they know they can't smoke at the property, they can't have pets, etc. Simple house rules that you are able to control. Make sure that you are the one enforcing them. That's one thing that I had a little bit of trouble with at first, is being confrontational. I'm not that kind of person, but it's something that you have to learn. It's a skill set that you have to develop. And if people break your house rules, you have the right to kick them out if they instant book. So guys, that's something that you definitely need to do, is stick up for yourself. Don't let people walk all over you. I know I keep referring to that horror story incidents, but overall that was a very valuable learning experience for me. Even though things were very stressful in the moment, I got it figured out, and therefore I'm going to keep referring back to it because that is a point of where I will never make that mistake again. And I think you guys should all look into your own business and find those valuable experiences that you can learn from and never make those mistakes again. The sixth thing that will make you a great host is consider adjusting your nightly minimum. For a while, we had single night bookings that just littered our calendar. We had single night bookings left and right, and it was a lot of work for us, honestly, because we're the ones cleaning the place, me and my wife. And so we'd constantly be there. Let's say there was 3 nights back to back that were single night bookings. We'd constantly be there cleaning the place. It was like a thing that we didn't know what to expect. That was our first month or two hosting. Like I said in the beginning, we didn't optimize anything. I learned as I went. And adjusting that setting to a 2-night minimum actually helped us a lot. We now encourage longer bookings. Like, we have a minimum of 2 nights. Therefore, people are incentivized to book for 5 nights or 7 nights, 12 nights, so on and so forth. And all that means for us is that our calendar is filled up a lot faster and we're not there as often cleaning the place. And if you have a cleaning service, you're not paying them as often to clean the place. I hope this really settles deep with you guys. This is one thing that really improved our revenue overall, getting rid of those single night bookings and having that 2-night minimum. This kind of really minimizes the people who go there to throw parties or the people who just go to crash there for one night and maybe don't respect the place as much. These people who book longer stays, they're respectful of the place, and I've noticed a lot less wear and tear with a 2-night minimum instead of a single night minimum. If you guys haven't tried this yet in your own business, I definitely recommend you try it. And if you don't like it, you always can go back, but for the most part, this has helped us tremendously. And it's one thing that I've been very grateful to see work in my business and increase my revenue and overall my hosting experience. And the last thing that I'm going to be sharing with you today is keep your messages and keep all the conversations on the Airbnb platform or on the HomeAway platform. You have people that will try to have the conversation outside of the app or outside of the platform. This has happened numerous times to us, and we've always encouraged the guests to keep communications within the platform. We've had it happen with a travel nurse who wanted to book our place for 3 months, but she didn't want to do it through Airbnb because of the steep fees they charge, and the nightly rate was a little bit too high, so she tried to come down on that a little bit. It may sound nice at first. It may sound like, hey, I'm gonna have 3 months booked, back to back. Maybe this will be great for my business, but ultimately, you don't want to do that. If they found you through Airbnb, you want to make sure that you keep everything through Airbnb, because what happens is if that guest ends up damaging your property, or if they end up doing something to ruin your property, Airbnb won't be able to deal with it. They won't be able to help you out. Now, I know that their support team makes it very difficult for you to get items replaced, and like the refund policy is very complicated. If you keep all the payments and you keep all the messaging on Airbnb, it's easily trackable and it's all there for business purposes. You're not going to be doing anything shady. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that regardless. It'll keep everything very crystal clear. If something does come up, the support team will be able to look into the messages, see what was said, see what the problem is, and try to solve it. These 7 steps that I shared with you in this video will definitely help you become a great host, not just a good host. It's important to be great, especially now as the market becomes more saturated, especially now as more people come into the space, more hosts, more competition. You guys need to be on top of your game. Make sure you're doing everything right to ensure that you have a great listing and your business revenue looks great at all times. For anyone trying to join my Facebook group, you guys will not be able to unless you purchase the course. That being said, stay tuned for August 9th. It'll be a very big launch day. I'll be offering some discount codes as well. So if you guys have been waiting on the sidelines on whether or not you should be jumping on this opportunity, maybe this will be the push you need to get started and increase your revenue streams, maybe potentially replace your full-time income. Thank you guys all for staying tuned for this video. And if you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Airbnb related content, investing related content, anything you guys want. Honestly, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help you all. So therefore, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.